Good afternoon. Hope you are having a great Tuesday. Hope you had a great Monday, a great, hopefully, day off and able to enjoy it outside during the day while it was nice and warm outside. I want to continue to share some of my favorite scriptures with you. And today and tomorrow, I want to share a couple passages from Philippians chapter 2. Today, I want to share Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 through 4, and then tomorrow, I'm going to continue on and go 5 through 11. So in Philippians chapter 2, Paul says this. He says, "So if there is any encouragement in Christ, any comfort from love, any participation in the Spirit, any affection and sympathy, complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in full accord and of one mind. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." And so what Paul is telling us is just really, really crucial for us in life and the way we live and the way we interact, especially with what's been going on with the coronavirus and people being isolated and then people now starting to go back out. And I'm finding that I can go into a store and, right now I wear a mask in a store, but when I'm in a store, I find people coming right next to me and just pushing into me who aren't wearing masks and just the whole concept of what is going on is so different. Everyone is thinking differently and feeling differently, and it really becomes in some ways confusing. And so Paul is telling us, and it's a great passage for us right now. He says, if there's any encouragement in Christ, any encouragement, any comfort from love, any participation in the Spirit, any affection, any sympathy. And what he says is complete my joy by being of the same mind. And we find right now in our world, we are not of the same mind. Our world is so spread out of whatever you're thinking. And so Paul says complete. And when he says complete, it's really to finish it off, make it whole, 100% complete by being of the same mind. It doesn't mean we all have to think alike. But what he's talking about is to be unified. And he says this a couple of times. Be of the same mind. Have the same love. It's not your human love. It's the love of Jesus Christ. Have his love, which leads us to be of the same mind. Because he says in the second part of that verse, being in full accord and of one mind. So we are of one mind. We are unified. We don't have to agree, but we are unified. And then he says, don't do anything, and this is so important for us, don't do anything out of selfish ambition, but in humility count others as more significant than yourselves. How hard is that to do in our world? That is not an easy thing because we tend to be very self-centered. And so he says, don't be stuck with selfish ambition. Don't do anything out of selfish ambition, but consider others as more important than yourself. Man, if our world could live that way, can you imagine what we would be like? And then finally, Paul says, let each of you look not only to his own interest, but to the interests of others. And what he's saying is, look to your own interests. Take care of yourself. Don't be a martyr. Take care of yourself, but also look out for others. So how can we do that? How can you do that when you're at a store and people are pushing and shoving and cutting in line and grabbing more than they should? How can we practice patience? How can we practice love and grace? Be of the same mind. Show the love of Jesus. How can you not be selfish, but to show others who God is, even if they don't understand it and they don't accept it? You know you've done what's right. Don't be a pushover. You don't have to let people push you down and knock you over. That's not what Jesus ever calls for us to do. Be strong. Be courageous. But show the world who Jesus is by the way we live our lives. Be of one mind, the mind of Christ. Be filled with his Spirit so we can go out into the world and we can make a difference. little bit longer today than I thought it would be, but important words from Paul to us. And tomorrow is continuing that same motif of looking at the servanthood, the servant nature of Jesus in what's called the Christ hymn in Philippians Chapter 2, verses 5 to 11. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.